everyone, this is Carla Jenkins, and welcome to an all new episode of Projectized, the Project Management Show. Where in this episode, I'm going to talk about 5 stakeholder engagement questions you should ask during COVID. I wanted to create this so that people will have a better understanding of project management and how to apply it during the current pandemic. So, I would like to welcome all live and replay viewers, and we're going to start off with number one. Number one is, have you been updating your stakeholder register during each transition phase? So, as you know, the stakeholder register has the list of stakeholders and, their communication methods, what they're good at, are the risk owners, which I'll talk about later in this broadcast. So, the transition phases I want to talk about are offline to online. If you're still in quarantine, some people in the United States are online to phase reopening, and then phase reopening to offline. So in the different transitional phases, have you, updated your transition? So that's very important. Number two is, has the entire project management team continued identifying stakeholders through COVID-19? For instance, when everyone was in quarantine, Skype and Zoom, the communication tools, the online video tools, those became stakeholders. So even if nothing changed but that, those are new stakeholders. So that's the second thing that you can talk about. Number three is, does your stakeholders have a secondary or backup communication method in the stakeholder register? So, for instance, if they liked online stuff or face to face and you can't communicate with them face to face, is there a secondary way of being able to communicate with them? That's huge because you want to be flexible, and stakeholders are people or entities that can influence for good or bad your project, and you want to be able to communicate with your stakeholders. Number four is, does the new tech, whether or not Zoom, Skype, Facebook, GoToMeeting, work for your stakeholders? And if not, is there a suitable non-video tech replacement? So are they comfortable with the phone? Are they comfortable with teleconference, SharePoint, which is online, but you can post stuff that doesn't require face-to-face interaction? And then the final question, number 5, is, can any of the new stakeholders serve as risk owners to implement new risk responses? So risk is everyone's responsibility, but you want to know if any of the new stakeholders that you identify can serve as risk owners for any new risks that come about due to COVID. So those are the 5 questions that you can ask to review your stakeholder engagement for COVID, to make you have better decisions, to know where your stakeholders are at. Remember, stakeholder communication used to be a part of communication management knowledge area. And as a project manager, 90% of your job is communication. So stakeholder communication is preeminent form of communication as a project manager. So those are the 5. Remember that stakeholder is very important. I would like to shout out to for Periscope, Mike So Savage, and for Instagram Live, Almighty Dump Truck Trapping from Instagram Live. I greatly appreciate you. I always shout out the live people. Since I had a couple of them on the different channels, I shout both of them out. Remember, you can catch me on Projectized, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, from Periscope, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. And also, if you need to increase and improve your stakeholder engagement during COVID, you can get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact. I'll put that in the link. And just once again, I'll review the questions. Number 1 is, have the stakeholder register been updated after each transitional phases? And the transitional phases are offline to online, which is during quarantine, online to phase reopening, and phase reopening to online. And then, has the team continued identifying stakeholders through COVID-19? Remember, Skype and Zoom, your online communication tools, are stakeholders now. Number 3, does your stakeholder have a secondary or backup communication method just in case face-to-face is their primary in the stakeholder register? And then does the new tech, which is Zoom, uh, Skype, work for your stakeholder? And not, is there a suitable non-video tech replacement such as phone, teleconference, SharePoint? And then number 5 is, can any of the new stakeholders serve as risk owners to identifying and implementing the new risk responses due to COVID? So once again, I would like to thank all live and replay viewers. Once again, if you do need help in improving your stakeholder engagement and communication, get in touch with me at carlarjenkins.com/contact, and I'll see